The college protests against Israel continue, this time in Europe. Students have organized rallies across the continent in France, in Germany, in Belgium, in Switzerland, and in Austria. In some places, things got violent. Like at the Amsterdam University, pro-Palestine protesters had set up camp there. So the Dutch police arrived in force and they came with a bulldozer. Take a look. Imagine that, running bulldozers over a student protest site. What if this happened at an Indian college? The sermons would never have ended. The democracy indices would have updated in minutes. But since this is Amsterdam, no such outrage. Either way, these camps appear to be the new strategy. Put up tents in public places, make unrealistic demands and wait for a crackdown. That's what students seem to be doing. Let me show you pictures from the UK's Oxford University. Just look at the tents. They were pitched in front of the Museum of National History. And what do these students want? Same thing as US colleges. They want Oxford to divest from Israel. Now look at Belgium. Around 100 students occupied a university there. They've pitched tents inside the building, even set up food counters. In Spain, similar scenes. Protesting students have set up a camp in Madrid, but the response has not been violent here. You could say that was expected. Spain's government is firmly pro-Palestine, so the students have nothing to fear. In Germany, though, that was not the case. Israel is a very sensitive issue in Germany. Many Germans still carry the guilt of the Holocaust. So protesting against Israel is risky. Nonetheless, students in Berlin set up a protest camp. They occupied a college courtyard. Look what happened next. Many of these students have been arrested. In the Netherlands, around 169 people face charges. In France, around 86 people were arrested. I'm sure the numbers will keep rising, but where do things go from here? Well, look at what's happening in the US. The protest started around 2 weeks ago. Many colleges cracked down on the students. Hundreds were arrested, dozens were suspended, yet the protests continue. More encampments have popped up in New York and Washington, so crackdowns have not worked in the US. Why would they work in Europe? Also, what if these protests spread beyond Europe, to Arab nations, or to South and Southeast Asia? We've seen some indications already. Over the weekend, massive protests were organized in Bangladesh. Thousands of university students turned up. They burnt effigies of Benjamin Netanyahu. Take a look. Again, Bangladesh is pro-Palestine. They don't even recognize Israel. So Dhaka may not mind these protests. But every government values public order. You can't have hundreds of students disrupting classes and occupying colleges. Neither can you afford counter-protests. So most governments will be watching this closely, and I know these protests are quite divisive. Even student politics as an issue is quite divisive. But what we are seeing is possibly unprecedented. Students across continents are protesting together in North America, in Latin America, in some parts of West Asia, in South Asia, in Europe, and in some parts of Africa. When was the last time you saw something like this? Maybe for issues like climate change or human rights, but never for something so political. So these protests could have a long-term impact. First, for the cross-continental solidarity, and second, for the result. Divestment may or may not happen, but Western governments have been forced to rethink. That could be the legacy of this campus chaos.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.